Hi, this video is brought to you by Winchmax UK, and today I'm going to show you our 13,500lb winch fitted with galvanised rope. This is the most popular winch in our range and is perfectly suited for use with large four-wheel drive vehicles and also recovery trucks, for recovering vehicles up to about 3.5 tonnes. As you can see, the winch is nicely presented in custom packaging, so we'll go ahead and get this open. There are the two straps. Get those out of the way. And then we'll just cut the tape that's sealing the box on this side. Right, so the first thing you'll see is that the winch has been nicely packed in this custom clam pack polystyrene packaging. We know the winches can be treated pretty harshly by the carriers sometimes, so hopefully this will ensure that the winch arrives with you in perfect condition. On the top here we've got the winch cover. That's a branded cover, elasticated at the bottom, fully waterproof and good heavy duty material. This is intended to be kept on your winch when it's not being used, which will keep out the elements and the dust and the water. So that's important you use that whenever possible. On the top here, the top tray, you'll see that we've got our certificate of conformity, which is very important, the instructions, and this piece of paper here are the top tips. This is really important information and well worth a read. Even if you're an experienced winch operator, there's some great little pointers in there. So in the top layer, first thing we've got here in the centre is the Clevis Hook. This is a 3/8 Clevis Hook with a safety clip on it, and also the hand saver which is on here. The idea of that is whenever you're handling the hook, when it's connected to the winch, you always do so using this, rather than putting your hand or your fingers through the hook itself, which could result in injury. Over here we've got the overload protector. This is a fairly simple thermal device, but it's designed to protect the winch in the case of the motor stalling or the winch being inadvertently operated when the cable is in a fixed position. So you can't rely on this to protect the winch against misuse, but it's one layer of protection, so do fit it if you can. You'll see that there are two sides to it. One has got BAT written on it, that should be fitted to the positive of the battery, and then on the other side is where you take the feed to the winch. Here we have the wander lead, which is a plug-in lead that plugs into the control box. It's got a bayonet fitting on it, so a nice secure fitting. And you can see that there's a big button on the front, in and out, the thumb switch. There's a very generous length of cable on here, 4.8 metres I believe, so that will easily take you from the front of the winch round through the window into the cab of the car, if that's what you're using it for, or gives you plenty of room to stand back and use it when you're recovering onto a recovery truck. And here we have the mounting bolts. You'll see there is a full kit here, everything you need to mount the winch. There are 4 M10 by 30mm high tensile mounting bolts in there. These are all rated at 12.9, so they are very strong bolts. You've also got 2 for the roller fair leads. These are 8.8s, but they're M12s. You've also got the square nuts that fit into the mounting pockets on the bottom of the winch. Whereas these standard mounting bolts are good for mounting the winch onto a mounting plate, anything between 5 and 7mm. If you're going to mount it on anything thicker than that, it's important that you use longer mounting bolts. If you're going to use longer mounting bolts, just ensure that they are correctly rated at 12.9 high tensile. Here we have the negative, which is the cable that goes from the bottom of the winch motor to the negative terminal on the battery. Some people try and earth the winch to the chassis, but this is just not suitable. You must take your earth back to the battery itself. All the cables on this winch are copper cord and about 30mm cross-sectional area. Some winch manufacturers save money by using an aluminium core cable, but these are 100% copper. So we take the top tray out, and then we've got the winch in the bottom. Here we have the control box. I'll come back to that. And we have the rollers, the two wireless remote controls. As you can imagine, they're pretty heavy, so just take this one. Okay, so here is the winch. As I said, this is the mainstay of the range. We've got tens of thousands of them being used daily throughout the UK, Europe and beyond. Very, very sturdy winch. You will see the finish is bright orange. Winchmax were the first winch company to paint their winches orange. Since then, a few copycat brands have also painted their winches orange, but I'm sure you guys are not going to be fooled by that. You can see we've got branding here on the ends and also on the handle. The handle is nice and smooth. This is to engage and disengage. When it's disengaged, you can pull the cable out. When it's engaged, you power it in or out. And the most important thing about the handle, that it's got no sharp edges or points. You can see on here, this winch is fitted with a galvanised cable. So there's 24 metres of 10mm 7x19 strand galvanised rope. That's got a minimum braking load on it of about 9 tonnes, so about 20,000 lb. So that's giving you a minimum of 50% safety margin on there. On the end, we've got a thimble eyelet, which the Clevis Hook fits over and onto. One of the interesting features about this winch are the crossbars you'll see. Now there's some shoulder on the casting here which gives us about another 10mm of clearance from the cable on the drum. And although we've reduced the length of the cable, theoretically you could fit 28 metres, something like that, onto here. We've reduced it by 24 because one of the main problems we see when people are using winches, if they're winching off from one angle to another, you get bunching on the drum. So by slightly reducing the cable length and by bringing these crossbars up, it very much reduces the problem of the cable bunching and breaking the crossbars on the winch. So the winch comes with a very sturdy, heavy-duty set of rollers. You'll see here galvanised rollers in a steel frame, and they mount onto your mounting plate or winch bumper depending on the installation. Here we have two wireless remote controls. These are very long range, they're 80 to 100 foot range on these. To power them up, you hold both buttons down for about 3 seconds until you've got the light on the top. Then when you press them, you'll see the light pulses one way or another to tell you that the winch transmitter is transmitting. So put those to one side, and here we have the control box. Now this is again, this control box hasn't got any metal panels in it at all, so it's a fully plastic sealed case. The solenoid inside it is an IP67, which means it can be immersed up to 1 metre in water for up to 30 minutes. So that's a really good waterproof solenoid inside there. This clips onto the front of the winch, onto the top of the winch like this, or alternatively you can mount it to one side if you want to keep the winch profile as low as possible. So that goes onto there. Now you'll see that the cables here have got the cable boots already pre-installed. So that takes the guesswork out of fitting these. On the motor itself, each terminal has a colour-coded collar. So the yellow goes to the yellow, the red goes to the red, and then the black goes to the black. You've then got the main power lead, which is here, which obviously goes straight back to your battery. The negative, this little lead here, we've got a label on it to make sure that that doesn't get forgotten about, but that goes and picks up the main negative feed on the bottom of the motor. So there we have it, the Winchmax 13,500 lb winch, a superbly tough and capable winch which will give you many years of reliable service. It's also fully supported with parts. We have all the parts for these winches available off the shelf for next day delivery in the UK. If you have any questions about this winch or would like to see the rest of our range, please visit our website or feel free to give us a call. We're always happy to offer friendly help and advice over the phone. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.